Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. We got 1027 Sons just became a channel member. We got Juan, we got Naeem, we got Chief, we got Dashing, we got Daniel, Tracy. What's up, y'all? Appreciate you guys for being here. Fausto, I see you up there as well. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Do me a massive favor, smack the like button here on your way in. And if you are like me, AZ sports fan, although I don't cover the Suns, I am watching the Suns game right now. Go Suns. Hopefully they go ahead and beat the Mavericks. But ladies and gentlemen, today is another day where we open up another late night live stream and talk things all Arizona Cardinals related. That's exactly what we're going to be doing today, ladies and gentlemen. Big talking points we're going to be diving into is the Kyler Murray topic, right? That we're gonna be talking about back and forth, and it's gonna be a topic that we're gonna be having for until the Cardinals make their decision on what they're gonna do with Kyler Murray, right? We're gonna have this topic as well as who we're going to draft, free agency. It's going to be an abundance of a different type of different things, right? Now, we are also going to be talking about our defensive coordinator. Are we closing in on our defensive coordinator? Now, as of right now, it does feel like the Arizona Cardinals are, I guess, coming closer to hiring their guy. Now, I made this list last week. And I said that it's going to come down to 3 defensive coordinators, right? Now it feels like it's just coming down to 2. Now, Wink Martindale, I still do think he's in consideration, but I don't think he's as far along as in the process as Charlie Bullen, as well as Aubrey Pleasant. So obviously, I think if you guys have been watching this channel, you all know kind of where I feel and where I stand with the whole defensive coordinator. I would love Aubrey Pleasant to be the next Arizona Cardinals defensive coordinator, being the fact that he was the assistant head coach to Sean McVay, and he's got some, coaching in terms of being a defensive back coach. He's got the experience under his belt. He's also labeled as a passing game coordinator as well. Like, this guy seems to be a guy that's kind of ready for the next role. And I would love the Arizona Cardinals to potentially go after an Aubrey Pleasant. Now, what's going to happen, right? That's the big question right now. What's going to happen? Because the Browns, us, and the Raiders are seeming to be the only teams right now that are looking for their defensive coordinator. Now, of course, we're the last teams to get their head coach, and that's the reason why the Arizona Cardinals are taking a little longer than usual. But right now, the reason why I'm leaning a little bit more towards Aubrey Pleasant is because we ended up seeing a report earlier today. This is the report that I ended up seeing about the Aubrey Pleasant situation. Now, let me know if you think I'm kind of onto something here, but Matt Zintz ended up saying this: the Rams are expected to hire Tennessee's Michael Hunter as their defensive back coach, sources tell CBS Sports. The ex-NFL defensive back was an assistant defensive back coach at Ohio State the last 2 years before Tennessee. So, we are now starting to see the Rams bring in some coaches, right, to fill in that defensive back role. Now, like I said before, Aubrey Pleasant helped out with the defensive back, like as a defensive back coach as well. He was also the assistant head coach to Sean McVay and also a passing game coordinator, right? A guy that has multiple different hats. This feels like the Rams are preparing for Aubrey Pleasant to take a job. That's what this feels like. Now, whether that job is the Browns or whether that job is the Arizona Cardinals, right now, I'm hoping that we get some sort of announcement either by tomorrow or Thursday. I mean, no rush, but this is the guy I want the Arizona Cardinals to get. Aubrey Pleasant, right here. And like I said before, we met with them, right? We met with Pleasant yesterday. Per Ian Rappaport, It says this: it's a busy day for Aubrey Pleasant. The Rams assistant head coach and passing game coordinator will meet with the Arizona Cardinals for their open defensive coordinator position, and now will interview with the Browns for their DC job this afternoon as well. So he met both with the Cardinals and the Browns yesterday. So why the announcement hasn't been relayed? Well, I mean, maybe the Cardinals are still trying to go through, I guess all their P's and Q's. Probably, I don't know, but I would hope that the Arizona Cardinals could potentially bring him in, because this is this would be the signing for me. Now, yes, the experience isn't there for being a defensive coordinator, but everything that Rams fans and people that cover the Rams say about Pleasant is that he's ready to take the next step. He's ready to take the next step. And why not? With obviously Mike LaFleur being hired as a new Arizona Cardinals head coach, you might as well continue to try to pick apart that coaching staff over there. And of course, I would love nothing more than the Arizona Cardinals to do something like that. So that's the update here when it comes down to Aubrey Pleasant. Will it happen? Well, let's see. Let's see how this all shakes out here at the end of the day. But Aubrey Pleasant trending in the direction to probably either take the role of the Browns or Cardinals defensive coordinator here sooner rather than later. And biggest reason why we're saying that is because of this report. And I'm talking about the Rams, they just hired a new defensive back coach. So for what it's worth, there's that. Now, if you're going to sit back and ask me, oh, well, if he's ready to take the next step, Aubrey Pleasant, why hasn't he become the defensive coordinator over there? Well, because Chris Shula's there. Chris Shula is their current defensive coordinator with the Rams. So he's not going to, Sean McVay is not going to take him off, right? He's not going to get him off the coaching staff, because he believes in Shula still. So Shula currently is the defensive coordinator over there, and that's the reason why Pleasant hadn't had the opportunity. But like I said, multiple people out there are saying that he's ready to take the next step. We'll see. We'll see. Dashing in the chat says, are you still planning on streaming mornings again? Yeah, we will. We will. It's just right now, it's a little bit more, I guess, convenient for me to do it in the night times. Biggest reason as to why is because I did find myself a lot when I was streaming in the mornings. All the time that I was on there, when I stopped my live stream, I kid you not, news dropped, or the everything that we talked about became irrelevant. So it was really hard to maintain trying to stay up to date with the news when we did this morning live streams. Now, of course, we're going to be, if there's breaking news, of course, we're going to be covering it when it comes down to Cardinals football. Of course, we will be chiming in to that, but it just feels a lot more, I don't know. I feel like more people are in tune with these night live streams. So right now, we're going to keep it as is, but we will continue to try to sprinkle in some morning live streams still as well. To answer my guy dashing in the chat. Let's keep the conversation going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about the next big thing here that we want to talk about. Let's talk about the next big thing we want to talk about, and that's going to be none other than Kyler Murray's trade value. Yes. And like I said before, if you're fatigued with this, I apologize, but this is going to be the conversation we're going to be having from here until March, until the Cardinals decide to let us know what they're going to do, right? Because as of right now, the Cardinals still have Kyler Murray on their roster. And let's call it like it is. There's a lot of people, national media, either think he's staying or they think we're cutting ties, right? Now, we all probably can vary in difference of opinions, right? We have probably, 70 people here in the chat. I've almost promised you, every 71 of you guys here in the chat are probably going to have a difference of opinion of what I think. But the circumstances, we got to talk about it still, right? Because he's current quarterback one of this Arizona Cardinals roster, if healthy. At least that's what the Cardinals led us to believe. And we're going to have to kind of wait and see how this all shakes out. But I ended up seeing something here on the internet earlier today. Now, shout out here to Ben Slowick of ESPN. Now, please keep in mind, reports, articles, personalities, everybody that has something to do with ESPN or any other major media outlet, I guess, it's a dime a dozen, right? It's a dime a dozen. But I ended up seeing this earlier, and Ben Slowick of ESPN came out and said this, quote, if Murray's contract is traded in its current form, I think the return would be almost nominal. A third-day pick for acquiring teams with plenty of cap space in a long-term rebuild ahead. think teams such as the Jets, which we've talked about, keeping the draft capital and spreading the money on Murray might be preferable. So seeing this, of course, like I said before, these reports, all these things that we're going to be talking about from here on out, they're a dime a dozen. Everybody's going to have their difference of opinions on how they feel like Kyler's value is, and we're not going to know until it actually comes into fruition, right? Like let's be real here. But seeing this almost kind of opened my eyes to the thought of, hey, maybe, right? Maybe Kyler Murray doesn't go for a day 2 pick like we all thought. I mean, including me. I even came out and said, yeah, Kyler Murray's going for a day 2 pick. Book it. Now, because of the contract, which is something that we always knew was going to happen, right? Like, it's not like the contract just came out of nowhere. No, the contract has been the thing always with Kyler. Now, that's one thing that people are always fearful of, right? People are fearful of the idea that, hey, man, maybe the Cardinals will actually flat out release Kyler. I just see too many teams right now, right? There's too many teams in the NFL that are looking for a solid quarterback. And let's be real, Kyler is a solid quarterback. He's not garbage. No, he's just the time it's over. the time that we've had with Kyler, it seems like it's coming to an end, right? He probably wants a fresh start. The Cardinals probably want a fresh start. It seems to be in the best interest for both parties, right? Now, in this same article, right, from Ben Slowick, it says the Jets in parentheses, right? I've been very, very big on the Jets potentially landing themselves a Kyler Murray. I do believe they are the team to potentially go after him. Now, if you want to throw some other teams out there, the Falcons can also be in play. The Vikings. Trying to think of teams that are on the top of the draft. The Steelers could also be in play as well. There's a lot of teams, at least 4 or 5 different teams. What the Cardinals need to do is they need to create some sort of trade value and urgency amongst those other teams, right? Now, it doesn't help the fact that Derek Carr wants to come back to the NFL. That doesn't help. It doesn't help that the Atlanta Falcons are planning to release Kirk Cousins. That doesn't help. But the situation is that Kyler Murray, right now, the upside on him is way better than Derek Carr. It is way better than Kirk Cousins. Let's be real here. But the circumstance is, will there be a team to give us the value that we want back, right? Because the other side of the coin, which I just found out about this probably about a week ago, right? So even when I was talking about Kyler Murray's contract during the season, with over the cap or spot track, it doesn't tell you what guarantees are the following year, right? It doesn't tell you that. Well, I mean, it does, but not to the specifics of what we just found out about a week ago, right? Adam Schefter reports that if the Cardinals do decide to keep Kyler Murray until after the 5th day of the new year, which I believe is like the 15th, 16th, 17th of March, right? It's going to be a little past free agency. Let's put it that way, right? A little past the free agency. If the Cardinals do have him on the roster, not only is he guaranteed the salary that we were going to pay him this year, he's also guaranteed $17, $18, or $19 million the next following year. So that's something that the Cardinals also need to keep an eye on as well. What are they going to do? Like I said, I just found out about this myself, right? Probably about a week and a half ago. Per over the cap, it seemed like the guaranteed salary stopped this year, per over the cap. But now we're starting to see all these big-time reporters saying, no. The cap hit, or the guaranteed salary, not cap hit. The guaranteed salary is not that much, but he still does get $17 to $19 million of guaranteed salary if the Cardinals do retain Kyler past the 5th day of the new NFL year, right? So that's another big factor there. That's another big factor as to what the Cardinals could potentially do with said Kyler Murray, right? Now, let me give a real quick shout out to Monarch Clutch with the $5 donation. Appreciate you, Monarch. Thank you so very much for the super chat. He says this: why hire an offensive coach for a defensive cards are solid at putting players and coaches out of position? Also, nightmare better for live for most people. Yeah. Oh, sorry. The night streams. Yeah. Yeah, the night streams are better for most people. I'm going to be real here. I found out that a lot more people are a lot more engaged on these night live streams. They're just, I don't know. I feel like the conversation flows, whether they are tuned in the morning streams, but they can't really type, right? They can't conversate in the chat because either they're at work, they're at school, they're doing chores. So they kind of have me in the background if they do decide to tune in, or sometimes they don't even know I'm live. But yeah, the night streams just feel more personable, right? And I love to kind of think of this like a barber shop, right? Like we're just kind of shooting the shit, right? I kind of love this style of streams, right? And it seems to be working for a lot of people so far. But yes, I appreciate you, Monarch. Thank you so very much for the super chat. But yes, he says, why hire an offensive coach? Sorry, why hire an offensive coach for a DC? Cards are solid at putting players and coaches out of position. So great question. So you're saying, why are the Arizona Cardinals hiring a passing game coordinator? And you're talking about Pleasant. Well, he's not just a passing game coordinator, right? What Aubrey Pleasant is a defensive back coach by trade. Like that's what he originally was. So like he could have been the defensive coordinator for the Rams if Chris Shula wasn't there. Let's put it that way. Because he came up from the ranks as a defensive back coach, almost similar to Jonathan Gannon, right? If you take a look at his history, Aubrey Pleasant is a defensive back coach, then turned assistant head coach and passing game coordinator, right? That's what he is right now. But I mean, this is a great question because I know there's a lot of people out there that are really, really, I guess, have this question. And it's a fantastic question. But he is a defensive back coach before any of it. So hopefully that makes sense. But here's the question, right? Here's the question that we're all finding ourselves in right now. What will the Arizona Cardinals do, right? What will the Arizona Cardinals do? Because this isn't an easy task to move off a quarterback that's making an abundance and amount of money. And we're talking about a lot of money Kyler Murray's making. A lot. So can we move off of him? I mean, of course, right? It it takes another team to say yes. It takes one team to say yes. But if there is teams out there that feel like the Cardinals can just or will just release them, then that's not a situation that we want to find ourselves. That's not a good situation we want to find ourselves in, right? Because we need something back from Kyler. Something back from Kyler. Um, and not just that, if we trade him, a good portion of his contract will be in cap savings, right? Like if the Cardinals decide to trade Kyler Murray, think of how much money we can use with the money that we save per the cap savings, right? If you want to get Malik Willis, we can do that. If you want to go after Linderbaum and another offensive lineman, we can do that. You can build one specific group on this roster and upgrade it tenfolds, right? Tenfolds. Per over the cap, if the Arizona Cardinals do decide to trade away Kyler in 2026, there'll be a dead money hit of $17.9 million, but a cap savings of 34.7. So it seems like a no-brainer, right? It seems like a no-brainer. If the Cardinals cut Kyler Murray, because they can't find a suitable partner, they have a dead money hit of $47.5 million and a cap savings of 5.1. So what does this tell me? Is this latest, I wouldn't say report, but portion of this article, does this have teeth to it? It does. It absolutely does. Because let's say, for the example, the Jets come out and say, we'll give you a fourth rounder and maybe a third round next year. Would you take that? Would you take that? I mean, what's the big question, right? Depends if the Cardinals find that value. I mean, of course, I would take a day 2 pick this year. Obviously, a second or a third pick is what I would absolutely love. But because of this contract that Kyler Murray has, it's really starting to kind of get some other teams a little worried. Now, what do you got to do? Create interest. Simple as that. You create interest, then we're in business. We got another super chat coming our way, this time from Zona. What's up, Zona? We got a $4.99 donation coming our way. Thank you so very much. There is no comment here, but let me see if you did write something. Sometimes comments don't come through. So, Zona, here we go. Gotta dip the info. Yeah, I mean, let's be real. The Cardinals need to do everything in their power right now. Everything in their power right now to really entice other teams to get him off our books, right? Now I see my guy here in the chat saying keep Kyler, right? Ryan in the chat says keep Kyler. Well, I don't think it's that simple, Ryan. I really don't. If you want to keep Kyler, I get that. What I feel like it's most important is if LaFleur wants to keep him. If LaFleur wants to keep him, I've been on multiple videos and podcasts saying if he wants to keep him, then okay. I get that, right? I understand it. But on the other side of the coin, does Kyler want to be here? That's the other question. That's the other side of the coin where it's not as easy as, yeah, just keep him. It's not that easy because the contract, man, it's a lot. So the longer we wait to potentially trade away Kyler, his value could potentially dip. There are people out there that truly believe that the Cardinals can release him. There are, right? Whether that's national reporters, people in the know, people in front offices. If there is an inkling that we can release him, oh, bad news bears for us, man. Bad news bears. We need to get something from him. Releasing him doesn't make sense. Again, if we release him, and even if we call it a post June 1st, right? Let's just call it a post June 1st release. Dead money hit of $47.5 million. Cap savings of 5.1 if we release him. If we trade him, dead money hit of 17.9 and cap savings of 34.7. But I've said this once and I'll say it again. If you want to get the most bang for your buck, the most value back, you're going to have to eat some of that contract. You just have to. You're going to have to eat some of that contract. And I find it a little strange, right? For the people out there that are saying, oh, just keep him, keep Kyler, just keep Kyler, right? I don't know if Kyler wants to stay here. That's for one thing. For the other thing, Kyler hasn't been involved in anything Mike LaFleur. Nothing. Now, you can come out and say, well, Kyler was on vacation. Okay, well, I'll give you that. But usually you see players, especially if they feel like they are an important factor moving forward in this organization, right? An important piece. They would come out and say, oh, let's go. I love this hire, right? Oh, yeah, let's go. But Kyler Murray didn't go to Super Bowl, right? So obviously avoiding any interactions with anybody, avoided the Super Bowl. Hadn't put a official tweet, anything out there saying, let's go Michael LaFleur, let's go for a championship, right? Nothing. It's been crickets on the Kyler Murray's sideline, right? Nothing has been said from K1. Nothing. And I find it a little strange that there's people out there that still want Kyler Murray back and that think that he can come back. No, I don't. I think it's done. I think the relationship has soured. I don't think he wants to be here. I really don't. I do not think he wants to be here. And do the Arizona Cardinals want him? I mean, well, that's probably not either. Probably not either. I was probably one of the first to say, oh, was he benched? And I was slightly joking when I said that because I remember very vividly watching Cardinals versus Titans, and I was doing my play-by-play. And then I remember specifically watching him walk out of there and try to come back, and the trainer said, no, don't go, right? Kind of thing, no, let's go. Let's go. And I said to myself, was he being benched? Oh my God, is he being benched? I was being a little ridiculous. Obviously, I was in the mode of, damn, we better not lose this game. And of course, we lost the game. But the way that things unfolded, he was benched. He was soft benched. Let's be real. Now, whether he was hurt in that game, foot injury with the football hit in the head. I make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. But the circumstances are the circumstances. For the people out there saying keep Kyler, ask yourself, do you think he wants to come back? I don't think he does. I don't think he does. There's been nothing out there that Kyler would want to be back in an Arizona Cardinal uniform. I could be wrong. But I just don't see it. Mark Jackson in the chat says, trade K1 for a second and a fifth. Keep Jacoby and see if Ty falls in the second to us. Trade makes the most sense. I like this. Not only are you obviously giving us value back, but you're also saying to us, hey, you're giving us some sort of solution, right? Ty Simpson. Now, if the Jets get Kyler, I don't think they would be in on Ty Simpson. I really don't. I mean, I could be wrong. But I don't think they would be in on Ty Simpson. Now, with the first two picks, I mean, of course, right? With the first two picks. Now, if you guys don't know, the Jets hold the second overall pick, which I don't think they're going to get Ty Simpson there. And they also do hold the 16th overall pick. That one worries me a little bit. But if they get Kyler, they probably won't get Ty Simpson. They probably go best player available. But they also do got the pick that's right in front of us in round 2. They got the 33rd overall pick. So if the Cardinals wanted to get Ty Simpson, you potentially have 2 picks that the Jets have that they can still snipe you even if they get Kyler or not. Now, what's another team that can very well go for the services of Ty? Minnesota? It might be a little too rich for Minnesota because they're looking for a veteran and they got JJ. So I doubt that they would draft a rookie. But Pittsburgh? Maybe Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh could potentially go after Ty Simpson. I'm looking at any other potential. Houston? And maybe Houston's done with CJ Stroud. Maybe they're going to double dip in another first round quarterback. I don't know. Miami? I don't think they would go for the 11th overall pick for Ty Simpson unless something crazy happens in the pro days as well as on the in the combine. Something crazy happens. I do believe that Ty Simpson's probably going to be a day 2 pick, early day 2 pick. If not, maybe a late first round pick. And that's where the Cardinals might need to be aggressive. So I love this. Pete in the chat says, Kyler Murray may get you a third. A third would be great. I would take a third at this point. Obviously, it's contingent that we're going to have to pay a good portion of that salary, right? Mark Jackson in the chat says, mock drafts has Ty Simpson falling to us. I hope so. I sure as hell hope so. I hope that Ty Simpson doesn't go for a first round pick. But crazy things happen, man. Crazy things happen in the NFL draft. We see it every single year. Crazy things happen in the NFL draft. And that would worry me if he gets sniped from the Cardinals. But yeah, I would take a third in a heartbeat. 100%. I would take a third for sure. What's up, Ryan? Ryan says, listen, I would like to get rid of Kyler Murray. I want a good quarterback. I'm tired of us. You know what I'm saying. So you're tired of losing, right? Pretty much what you're insinuating. That's fair. I get that. I am too, man. It's just the way this all played out, right? From point A to point B, the way all this played out. I know it's easy to say just bring him back, but I look at it on the other side of the coin as well. I don't think he wants to be back. I really don't. I mean, I could be wrong. I've been wrong multiple times, but there's just something that feels different this year. And I'm just hoping that Monty Ossenfort puts his best offseason in front of him. I need the best offseason from a Monty Ossenfort this year. That's what I'm looking for. Monty Ossenfort, put on a clinic because we need you, man. We absolutely need you. We got another super chat coming our way, this time from Zona. What's up, Zona? Appreciate the super chat. He says this: if we were already supposed to be forgiving of the LaFleur's first year. No point in wasting year one with Kyler. Start Brissett so we can see his scheme at least. Yeah, well, here's the thing. Let me ask you guys this. This is a great comment, Zona, because I'm gonna ask you guys this question. What is your expectations for Mike LaFleur? What is your expectations for Mike LaFleur? Let me know in the comments. Are you looking for a certain amount of wins? Are you looking for playoffs? Are you looking for division? What are you looking for Mike LaFleur? What's his expectations for you, right? And of course, I know we're going to get a lot of different comments, and that's fine. That's what I'm looking for. But what is your expectations for Mike LaFleur? Let me know here in the comments below because I want to know what it is. I'll give you my expectations. I want us to fight hard every single game. I don't want to get blown out 50% of the time. And I do want to win. Will I be upset if LaFleur wins only 3 games? I would be. I would be 100%. Because I don't think this roster is that bad. I really don't. I don't think this roster is that bad. Do I have a certain threshold in terms of wins? Kind of. Kind of. I would love to be around the 6, 7 range. 6, 7, 8 range is what I would love to be. Obviously, 8 might seem like a pipe dream, specifically when you're looking at our opponents for next year. I get it. It's not easy, right? I get that. But I want to win 100%. I'm not coming into this saying, oh, you have a free year. Jacoby Brissett, we've already seen, can run a offense pretty well, right? He's very comfortable with Trey McBride. He's very comfortable with Michael Wilson. And if Marvin Harrison Jr. takes a big leap in that 3rd year, then we're in business. Our offense isn't great. And let's say we do hire. Let's just say we live in a world and we do hire. Or not hire, I'm sorry, sign Breece Hall. Let's say we sign Breece Hall. Then our run game is fixed. You get Trey Benson behind Breece Hall. Let's go. But my expectations for this organization with Mike LaFleur is 6, 7 wins. I know I said 8 earlier, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think it's very realistic. But 6 to 7 wins would really get me like, okay, let's go. But I also don't want to be blown out, right? I'm not trying to get blown out 50% of the time. That's my expectations. The Lord in the chat. Oh, good Lord. Oh, man. If you know, you know. I'm not going to read it. But let's go with John. John says this: expectations equals emotion, playmaking on offense. Lets his defensive coordinator be aggressive. I love that. At least 7 wins. I love that. Gets respect from the West, even in losses. I want the NFC West going. Damn, if the Cardinals are getting better. Yeah. I mean, the NFC West is still labeled one of the best divisions, even when the Cardinals only had 3 wins, right? We're still the best division in NFL football. Because before the wheels absolutely fell off, the Cardinals lost a lot of games under like 3 or 1 possession games, multiple of them, right? So those games could have gone either or. But that wasn't enough to save Jonathan Gannon's job. No, not at all. On the contrary. No, hell no, that wasn't. There's no excuses anymore. The Cardinals need to start winning, bar none. They need to start winning. West Phoenix in the chat says, I expect all losses to be close ones. No blowouts, no excuses. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I wouldn't mind a blowout here or there, right? Like if it happened like once or twice, I wouldn't mind that. But as long as they learn from it, right? As long as you're seeing the grinding of the wheels and they're learning from their mistakes, right? Because one thing I would say is that I don't feel like Gannon and crew really learned from the mistakes that they were doing. They were constantly in the same situation ever. They never seemed to learn from it ever. So as long as they're learning from it, that would be something where I would say to myself, okay. But yeah, 7 wins would be ideal. Absolutely. 7 wins will absolutely be ideal. We got my guy Hebe in the chat says, imagine LaFleur is that guy. Or McVay. Well, I mean, right now it's one of those things is we're not going to know, right? We're not going to know until what we see in free agency and what we see in the draft. Because we got Will Johnson going into his next year. When Walter Nolan comes back healthy, Garrett Williams comes back healthy. We got a lot of players that are good players. It's just, unfortunately, the injury bug got the best of us, right? But yeah, man, 7 wins would be that wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad at all. Naeem in the chat says more wins than losses. So if you're saying more wins than losses, then you want to go 9-8? Sheesh. I mean that's tough. Going 9-8 in year one is tough. Could it happen? I mean, it can. But this NFC West is so damn hard. And the schedule that we got coming for us and the opponents that we have coming for us, it isn't going to be easy at all. One bit. Pete in the chat says Will Levis could be cheap as well. That's good. That's a good call out. Personally, I'm not in on the Will Levis train. But if the Cardinals are looking that direction, of course, I would give them an opportunity. Of course, right? But I'm not in on the Will Levis train myself. Mark Jackson in the chat, speaking facts, he says Cardinals were the most injured team last year, 21 on IR. Yeah, it was brutal, man. Brutal. What we dealt with. And when I said to you guys, every breaking news that we got, every single one of it was injury. Oh, injury. It was such a brutal season last year, man. It really was. So, do I think we can be better? I do. We just got to improve our quarterback play. We need our defense to tighten up. And we need our offense to run an offense that works in the NFL. And yes, the Petsings offense worked in the NFL. It did. It's just the mid-game adjustments just weren't it, man. It just wasn't it. Yeah, but we were very, very, very much injured last year. Michael in the chat says, need to at least split with every division rival. Ooh. If we go 3-3 in the division, I mean, the Seahawks are so damn tough, man. Like, I fear that the Seahawks are probably going to do what they've been doing for like years to come. It won't last forever, obviously, right? But at least for the foreseeable future, you got the next 2, maybe 3 years of a window opened up for them. And if Sam Darnold can continue to elevate or not throw games away, I mean, they can win a lot of games. That team is no joke. That defense is no joke. JSN is a really good wide receiver. So it's tough, man. But like, I just need the notification on what the Cardinals are going to do at the defensive side of the ball. That's what I'm looking forward to now. What are the Arizona Cardinals going to do on the defensive side of the ball? That's what I'm looking forward to more than anything. I want to see the notification that the Cardinals are signing Aubrey Pleasant. Now, if they hire Charlie Bullen, I'm cool with that as well. I don't want to sit here and act like, oh, Charlie Bullen wouldn't be good. Because, yeah, I like Charlie Bullen. I really do. But I just need this notification already, man. I need this notification already. But here we are. We'll see how it all shakes out. We got another super chat coming our way, this time from Cards Fan. What's up, brother, man? Appreciate you for being in the chat. He says this, If we do trade Kyler, watch Bidwell change the wild. Already, this is going to be a banger. This is already going to be. If you guys just because he mentioned Wi-Fi, everybody smack the like button on that on that super chat. All right, Cards fan in the chat says, if we do trade Kyler, watch Bidwell change the Wi-Fi name to something like K1. Call me, please. Shake my head. On a serious note, we need at least a third round, though. Yeah, I would take a third round pick, 100%. Obviously, ideally, a first or a second would be cool. I don't think we're going to get that. I really don't think the Arizona Cardinals are going to get that at all. If we can get a third round pick, that would be the freaking dream. That would be good. Now, we're going to have to, as a Cardinal fan base, give the opportunity for whoever comes in and let's see what happens, right? I understand there's going to be people that are upset if Kyler Murray goes. I understand that. But the business side of it all, it makes sense for the Cardinals to potentially try to find a suitor. It does. Right now, the Arizona Cardinals are in a tipping point. If, like, not the tipping point. They're at a point where if they change quarterbacks, this would be the best year to do so if you want value back for Kyler. Let's just put it that way. But man, I so badly want to see this notification tomorrow. Aubrey Pleasant being announced to the Arizona Cardinals. Like I said before, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind Pleasant. I really wouldn't, but would love to see it. Cameron in the chat says trade for next year's first or second. I don't know if any first is going to be warranted for Kyler. I really don't. I mean, the only team I see that Kyler Murray gets that much amount, it would be from the Jets. The only team that I see that we would get that much amount would probably be from the Jets. But even then, I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to do it. And rightfully so, right? I mean, we got another super chat coming our way. This time from Mark Jackson, doubling down with another super chat. Appreciate you, man.
Another one.
Wow, that was not loud enough. Come on now.
Another one.
Appreciate it. Mark Jackson says this, trade Kyler to the Jets for a third. Yeah, I mean, I would take a third. No doubt. I would take a third. Absolutely. In a heartbeat. I would take a third. Yes, I would. Releasing, if that's what the Cardinals do, oh, that would be a disaster, man. That would be a disaster. A disaster. Italian, what's up, brother? Appreciate you for being in the chat, man. He says, no other team in the league believes they're a K1 away from making a run. That's fair. That's fair. What I'm leaning on, right, as a Cardinal fan, is desperation from another team. That's what I'm leaning on. I'm leaning on the fact that there is a New York Jets organization over there that's ran by Woody Johnson. If you think Bidwell is bad, Woody Johnson might take the cake, just FYI. But there's a team being ran over there by Woody Johnson that creates desperation and puts the heat on his current head coach to do something. That's what I'm leaning on. Is it fool's gold? Maybe, right? But that's what I'm leaning on. I'm leaning on Aaron Glenn. Do you want to keep your job? Go out there and get yourself a quarterback. Because if you don't, your job might be on the line. But yes, Italian Knight. Appreciate you for being here in the chat, man. But that's what I'm leaning at. But I agree, man. I agree. The Jets aren't a Kyler Murray away. And if you send Kyler Murray, to the Jets, is that suicide for his career? I mean, some might say. Some might say that might be suicide for somebody's career. But Circumstances are right now, ladies and gentlemen, that the Cardinals need to do something. They need to do something. We got another super chat coming our way, and I'm going to go ahead and do a real quick review of what we just talked about for the new people that just chimed in. If you guys haven't done so already, do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen. Night Crew, show up, smack the like button, everybody. Appreciate you for being here, and also subscribe. We're on the road to 19K. Mark Jackson in the chat says, we need the cap room. Kyler, $35 million helps. Yeah. That $35 million, you can at least get 2 high caliber players with that amount of money. If you want good players, you can get 3 or 4 good players with that amount of money. But high caliber players, hell yeah. Maybe an offensive lineman. Maybe maybe not 2 offensive linemen, but an offensive lineman and a real good playmaker. Yeah, heck yeah, you can. It's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money what he's making. So that's what I'm leaning on right now. Italian Knight says the Jets are the graveyard for quarterback talent. Prime Tom Brady couldn't make that organization a contender. And that's the unfortunate part of the whole Kyler Murray situation, right? Do I want him to succeed? I mean, I don't want him to not succeed, right? I'm not going to come out here and say, oh, I don't want Kyler. No, I mean, I want his career to blossom and to flourish. I do. It's just, to me, what's more important is for this Arizona Cardinals organization to get it right. That's more important to me. But yes, I agree. The Jets are an absolute SHIT show, man. They really are. They really, really are. So for the people that are just joining in, welcome in. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you guys for being here. We are basically talking about all things Arizona Cardinals. Main thing that we started off with was the Aubrey Pleasant news. Are we going to be getting some news tomorrow or the next day? Probably. It feels like it's coming soon. Right now, I do believe the Cardinals right now are probably, top 2 teams that are looking for their defensive coordinator. No, 3 teams looking for a defensive coordinator. Browns, us, and the Raiders, right? And right now, Pleasant has met with us and the Browns yesterday, per this report here from Ian Rappaport. Right? Pleasant's meeting with us and the Browns yesterday. And I was really hoping by today we were going to hear something. And the weird thing is that I ended up seeing this today. Check this out. I ended up seeing this today. Wow, that's not what I wanted. Why is that not coming out? Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Why is that not working? 1 second. I'm so sorry about that. Okay. Well, that's why. I'm an idiot. I apologize. I ended up seeing this today, that the Rams are just hiring their next defensive back coach. That's what I just saw today. So that tells me that, hey, man, we might be back in play here for Aubrey Pleasant. It feels like the Rams are planning to live a world without Aubrey Pleasant. That's what this tells me, that the Rams are jumping on top of it. They think he's going to go, whether it's us or the Browns. Oh, my goodness. Italian Night. I swear to God. Italian Night, would you tell me if you're Jeff Bezos or not? Would you tell me if you're Jeff Bezos or not, Italian Night? Would you? Holy mother of God. This is not the first time my guy Italian did this. This is nuts. Welcome. Italian Night. easily funding the AZ Sports Fan Hero throughout the entirety of the freaking month or whatever. Damn, dude. Holy. Funding my whole life. That's hell yeah, it's funding my whole life. Holy crap. Would you tell me if you're a Jeff Bezos, brother? 50 channel memberships just granted. Wow. I, here we go. Here we go. I need to. I'm sorry, guys. I need to. Sheesh. Thank you again. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. You don't have to do that. Super chats aren't mandatory. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. But yes, going back to what I said, and obviously lost my train of thought there, but there's moves that the Rams are making right now, right? The defensive back coaches they just hired. Aubrey Pleasant meeting with us and the Browns yesterday. It seems like he's going to be in play for one of the two jobs. Cardinals or not, we'll see, right? Now, yeah, where is he at? Where's my guy Italian? Give me 1 second. Let me do something real fast. Give me 1 second. All right. I'm gonna mod you up, man. Italian Night, you're a moderator now, man. Forever and however this channel exists, you're a moderator now. You're a moderator. Appreciate it. But yes. So we talked about Aubrey Pleasant. We also talked about Kyler Murray. The whole thing with Kyler Murray is that we ended up seeing something here from Ben Slowick of ESPN. He ended up making an article basically saying that Kyler Murray's because his contract might only covet us a third round pick, right? So, not third round pick, a day 3 pick, which means a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round pick. That's kind of what that means, right? So whether it's true or it's not true, everybody's got an opinion at this very moment, right? I'm still waiting for my guy Italian to tell me that he's Jeff Bezos in the chat right now. he still hasn't come out and told me that it was Jeff Bezos in the chat. Sheesh. But yeah, we'll see, man. A lot of things unfolding in front of our very eyes. We got from here until March 15th, 16th, around there, to figure out if Kyler Murray is staying. Simple as that. Is he going to be a part of the Cardinals moving forward, or is he not? Right now, I feel like he's not. But we'll see. We'll see. Danny in the chat says, day 3 pick is horrid. It is. But like I mentioned before we talked about him, before we obviously unfolded here, right? It's not ideal. But what I just learned about 2 weeks ago, no, I'm sorry, not 2, about 1 week ago, what I just learned myself is that the Cardinals are in a situation where, yes, obviously they need to figure out if they're going to pay Kyler Murray in 2026, but not just that. If they keep him past the 5th day of the new year in 2026, when the NFL starts their new year, they have to pay Kyler Murray $17, $19 million of guaranteed salary the following year in 2027. So will they cut ties with Kyler for a day 3 pick? Maybe. I don't know. But these are just all the opinions that are coming out there right now, right? These are all the opinions that are coming out there right now. Italian says, no, not Jeff. Okay. It's Bidwell. It's Michael Bidwell. Dang. Sheesh. I don't even know if I don't. I'm not gonna call my guy. I'm not gonna call my guy Italian. Michael Bidwell. I'm not gonna. I will never call him. Nah. Okay, so not Jeff. All right, cool. Bill Gates. Yeah, so it is horrid, man. I agree. It's not ideal. It's not ideal one bit. But the circumstances are, the longer you keep him, the more unknown you have with Kyler. It's it makes it for more teams to say to themselves, okay, we're fine, right? We're fine with the Cardinals just releasing him. And like I said before, it's not the situation you want to find yourself in. What we're going to do right now is we're about to hit the hour mark. So we're going to be closing up shop. I want to give another real quick shout out here to everybody that's been on the stream, everybody who smacked the like button, everybody who subscribed and joined the community. We're on the road to 19K. And once we do, we are going to give away this Arizona Cardinals Nike Rivalry mini helmet once we hit 19K. So make sure you subscribe it up, smack the like button. Shout out here to Mark Jackson for the super chats, Cards fan, Zona, Monarch, all y'all. Thank you. And of course, Italian Knight in the chat, granting 50 freaking memberships. Insane. Freaking insane. But thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll be closing up shop right here. If you guys have not already watched, started on over. This will be a part of the channel, so you can go ahead and rewatch it. But we're going to be closing up shop right here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Have a great rest of your night. I'm going to be enjoying the rest of the Suns game. Oh, the Mavericks are making this a game. They're making a comeback. But no, hopefully the Suns stop them in the third quarter here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's close up shop right here. Another quick shout out here to everybody in the chat. Thanks for tuning in. Go night, crew. All right, y'all. See you guys later. Peace.